So this is Kamal. This is a lovely guy that I met during the conference. And so I want to ask you about policy. Before I came here to Texas, I came specifically to Texas to find out about policy. And I always thought it was a negative thing, a nasty word.
Yeah.
But after 2-3 days here, I think that it's maybe not so bad.
I'm from the very beginning. I'm a business person. I'm a marketing person.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always bothered by the firm's greedy nature. Like firms, if you don't control them, if there's nobody
Mm-hmm.
to control this business people or organizations, they will always go like uncontrolled, unbridled.
Yeah.
And they will always try to maximize their profit at any cost.
Mm-hmm.
They're good people, of course, but when you are engaged in this kind of like businesses, and percentage of bad people are more everywhere. It's a human nature. You know?
Yeah, of course.
So
but probably especially in America, because like there's that I love capitalism and I love America. Like even my shorts, like really I'm pro-America.
Yeah.
But obviously there are things in this country that don't really work.
Don't really work. Yeah, it is. That's why.
The greed has to be
Exactly.
stifled a little bit or like controlled.
Exactly. So that's the reason. Although I'm a marketing person, so back home people say you are a marketing student. That means you were trying to convince me to buy something. That's what you do all the time. So it's not a good thing in general.
Of course.
Like, you know,
People see it. Yeah, people see it as a nasty thing.
Very
I
nasty.
came from a psychology background, and I would see people's perception. Psychology good. Now that I'm in marketing, it's not so cool.
Exactly. So I wanted to do something that helps people. Being in my own area, I'm a marketer at the same time. I want to do something that actually goes in favor of consumers more than the businesses. You know, it's going to help business as well. At the same time, it's more focused on consumer side. You know, consumer health and welfare. So my very first project was on the health warning labels, the graphic health warning labels on the cigarette packages. Okay. So cigarette is a product.
Yes.
You know, definitely it's a product, and people are in the U.S. It's an epidemic now. Like people. You know,
what's an epidemic?
Like smoking, getting addiction to e-cigarette. Right now, the e-cigarette is called the epidemic. Although people are less, prone to the smoking, the traditional smoking.
Is your advisor that woman like that?
Yeah, that woman. Yeah.
The woman, what's she called?
Elizabeth Howlett, Dr. Elizabeth Howlett.
Elizabeth, I walked back with her for about half an hour, like 20 minutes. A lovely woman.
Yeah.
I told her about you, and she was like, "Yeah, he's a good boy."
She's an inspiration. She taught me everything about the policy, why we need policy, so that we can bridge the gap between marketers and public policymakers. Why we need public policymakers. For example, if we don't have graphic health warning, or for example, any kind of health warning on the cigarette pack.
Yes.
Yeah. People are not going to be informed of the bad, this cigarette is harmful. This is just one example.
Yeah.
They should be at least informed that this product is harmful, is going to harm you, or whatever, and all this. So in that case.
No, carry on. I don't want to die.
Yeah. So what we wanted to do is this graphic health warning, which is helping reduce the smoking, but at the same time, is it doing something else which is unintended? So we wanted to investigate the unintended consequences of the graphic health warning. So what is our overall health goal as a nation?
Yes.
As a nation, we want to minimize the nicotine consumption. So we want to demarket smoking, the traditional smoking. At the same time, indirectly, we're promoting e-cigarette. Although we're not saying buy it, but when you were trying to demarket smoking through graphic health warning, you were somehow indirectly promoting e-cigarette.
That is so interesting what you're saying. Yeah.
So that is my very first project with my advisor, Dr. Howlett.
Yeah.
And we got an empirical support for that. Like people, graphic. So these warning labels and stuff, they are mandated by Federal Food and Drug Administration, USDA. They are all involved. See, these are the policymakers. If they don't impose, if they don't say that all the companies, all these nicotine companies or cigarette companies should do this and that.
Yeah,
Should
yeah.
at least maintain these kind of policies, these kind of strategies, so that at least smokers or consumers get informed,
Yes.
what they're consuming.
Of course.
Right.
Of course. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe just to bring it back to a kind of comical aspect, when it comes to policy, then this coffee that I'm drinking, it doesn't just say coffee, but because we're in America, it gives you all these different benefits, and it says that it supports my immunity.
Yeah.
It supports my
Supports your
immunity.
immunity.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test.
Behind this. This coffee is not just a coffee, but it actually supports my immunity.
So if I, for example, I am a different consumer, let's say, than
Yes.
you. If I say that this supports immunity, makes me believe that if I drink this coffee, I don't have to worry about something else
Exactly.
that I used to eat.
You don't have to eat fruit. You don't have to eat vitamins.
There's something called licensing effect.
I know.
It gives me a license not to do something
Yes.
that I would otherwise do.
Yes.
And this is probably harming me in a way.
It's true.
Although it's a good sentence,
Yes. It's a good
but
sentence.
this word supports immunity.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, no, it
all
sounds
this.
beautiful.
But if I make an argument that it's not actually helpful,
Yes.
then I can, come up and say, okay, I can do a research whether it's really helping in a mass level.
Yes.
Then I can propose. Then if policymakers hear it, let's say, then they can do something about it.
It's true.
So that's how it works
No,
in
no, no.
general in my world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Funny and
No,
very lame example.
Yeah. No, it's not so lame. Honestly, I think you summed that up beautifully. Yeah. Can I just say one thing? I want the people in Europe to know who the hell you are for saying all these things. You said them so eloquently, so beautifully, but it's just, you're probably the most intelligent guy that I've ever met.
Man.
No, really, no, but not because I think so. I don't know, I don't want to embarrass you or something, but somebody who manages to get a fancy job and to be like something like where they only choose 20 people out of 100,000, I have never heard these odds in my life. You were chosen as one of 20 people out of a pool of
It's actually
100,000.
100,200, not 20. But it's kind of if I was in the top 10 in rank though, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very small portion.
That's
Because if you're living in a
unbelievable.
very populated country, you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
fight.
You have to
That's
fight.
it. Fewer opportunities, and this same thing.
You
happens
said that
in
like a
India.
true American, honestly. Honestly, after a few days in Texas, like, this is-
Yeah.
But-
So yeah, that's the point. Like if you're living in let's say Texas has a population of 180 million. Let's say. That would be the
180 million.
180 million.
Did you
No,
just make that up?
Let's say. I'm
Okay,
saying
okay.
That imagine the population of Texas.
I'd be
let's say,
surprised if it was more than
180
80
million.
Yeah.
No, it's not even like 5, 10, 20 million. I wouldn't say more than that, I guess.
Okay,
I don't
true,
know.
because there's a lot of
This is a
desert there.
dumb guess,
Okay.
by the way. So opportunities are not that many. And you have to reach the best place, you
Yes.
really have to fight.
Yes.
That's what happens in India. That's what happens in Bangladesh. That's
Yeah.
what happens in all this overpopulated country.
Mhm.
That's why you see a
Well,
lot
that-
of people.
But everybody wants to fight, obviously.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
then obviously only some people have the ability to fight.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't play it down. I want to give you your dues, give you your credit. I mean, that's
Thank you.
unbelievable.
Yeah, thank you.
I've never applied for, like, when I apply for jobs in Europe or Switzerland, I think it's like maybe a pool of, I don't know, 50
Yeah.
people maximum or something. Or for some jobs that are like maybe the really,
Yeah.
really competitive jobs, super job, maybe you can see that there's 2,000 applicants.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've never heard of 100,000
100,000
applicants.
is a very common.
Yeah.
Especially if you go for a
Unbelievable.
civil service job, more than 100,000, even more than 100,000 civil service jobs. Although the
amazing.
recruitment is like out of 100,000, the finally pretty much 700 people would be recruited.
Okay.
I would say 100,000 would be 120, 150,000 people.
Okay.
But still, it's a huge, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah. Out of 150,000 people,
Yeah.
700 still from an entire country,
Yeah.
still it's a big deal.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I just help making decisions
I understand,
as an
I understand.
academic, but I think there should be a policy. But the point is the policy helping? That is the question.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think that's everything. So I've understood more about politics, about policy. I've understood more about policy since I got here. And thanks to the conference, thanks to speaking to thousands people, and thanks to you, basically.
Thank you
You've
so much,
been,
yeah.
you've taken me under your wing and you've been showing me what policy is. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm still learning. I mean, I'm just
Obviously.
graduated, still, not in a. I wouldn't say myself as someone very expert in policy and all this.
I
I'm
know
still
you're
a
not
kind of-
88 years old. I mean, like,
yeah,
of course.
So I'm still just trying to figure out how we can really use this policy so that we can help consumers. This is the first time I'm in front of camera. Actually.
Oh, that's
I-
cute.
My language.
Are you camera shy?
I spoke too fast.
No,
because of
not
this,
at all.
Because of this camera shyness thing.
No. You're fantastic. Come out. That was amazing.
Thank you.
That was
man.
amazing.
Thanks.
No, really.